July 12th, 2026. Now, it's July 12th as I'm making this video, but we're going to be going over the price action for July 10th, which was Friday. And we're going to look at when does the MACD realign to our given direction? So realign to the upside. When does it realign to the downside? When does it realign with those higher time frames, and could we have traded it? So let's look at the market today in terms of the alignment of momentums. And we've got the 1 hour on the very left over here, and then we've got the 15-minute momentum, then we've got the 5-minute momentum. And we just want to wait till all of those are supporting each other, and then we want to look to buy at a non-extended area. We want a nice valuable region to buy in, which generally is around this yellow 84 EMA line. So we're going to look at that. We're just going to test that out. Market opens right here. And right now our 1 hour at market open is telling us to look for longs. Our 15-minute at market open is telling us to look for longs. And our 5-minute twins are telling us, yes, you can take longs. The 5-minute regular hours is moving to the upside, to the positive side, long side. 5-minute extended hours doing the same thing, so that's good. They're showing the same data. Now, we normally skip the first couple minutes of the market because it's so chaotic. We normally skip the first 30 minutes to an hour of the market. And we do that for good reason. Things are very chaotic in the beginning. Nonetheless, we don't have our first alignment, our first true alignment, until here. See how it ticks down? We have one tick down and then a realignment to the upside, which is the entry trigger. Now, I would not have taken this trade. Why? Because we're far away from the yellow 84 line. We're far away from good value. We're overextended. So I would not have taken that trade. That trade would have resulted in a loss. Now, this next trade coming up, this next realignment to the upside, which happens here. Why is that a realignment? Because we're not aligned, not aligned, not aligned, realignment to the upside right there. That's the entry trigger. This is a 1-minute chart right now we're looking at. Now, this would have been a terrific win. Easily would have been a 1-to-1. Could have easily captured a 1-to-2, maybe even captured a 1-to-3. Absolutely would have captured a 1-to-3. So that was a good win. And notice, where are we near? This realignment occurs near the yellow 84 EMA line. That's how you know you're near value. So that's the first trade that I would have taken that day, which would have been a win. We're going forward in the day. 15-minute is still in the green, but it's now selling off. That's a big warning sign. We want it to be building in the direction of the 1 hour. When does that happen? We can just skip forward in time. You don't have to wait. When does that happen? Well, we want to wait until the 15 is expanding back to the upside in the green, or at least close to it, right? Expanding at least in the correct direction. That doesn't happen until around here. See, now it's starting to expand back upward. But we want it to be in the green. We do want it to be in the green. Now it's touching green. Now the 15 is in the green. 5-minute is holding strong on the upside, as you could imagine. So now we want to look for a realignment near the 84 EMA, or at the very least near this 42, this blue 42 EMA. And that's this candle right here. The 15 is now crossed and in the green. We've got a realignment candle right here. Selling off, selling off, selling off, realignment to the upside. This would have been a long trade, which would have resulted in a 1-to-1 win. So that would have been a win right there. Good, very good. Now we're later in the day. This is 11 a.m. in the day, so we don't use a 1-minute chart at 11 a.m. in the day. We just straight up use a 2-minute chart. So had we been on our 2-minute chart, that realignment trigger would have actually been the same. Selling off, realignment. And we were close to this 42 EMA. We were touching the 42 EMA when it happened, so that's good. That means we have some value. It's not like we're floating into no man's land. We're near one of these two EMA lines. This purple line right here is the VWAP. And then the yellow and the gray accordingly. I'm going to turn the gray into blue just so it resembles the previous one on the 2-minute chart so that they are identical. So now that we have that, this candle definitely would have been a 1-to-1 win on a 2-minute chart as well. That's also a win. The win would have hit right here, roughly 20 to 30 minutes later. You have to wait sometimes. Sometimes you got to wait for these to play out. So that's another win. Did we get another alignment today? where the 15 is aligned with the 1 hour. Well, after that win right there concluded, the 15 starts selling off into the red and it never comes back into the green. Do you know what that means? That means that for the rest of the day, you don't have a trade. You could take one more trade the rest of the day, and that's right here as the 1 hour is starting to cross over into the red, as the 15 is deep into the red, as the 5 is about to start selling off. It's in the green right now, so that's not even good. But as those things start to unfold towards the end of the day, going back to a 1 minute chart right now. This is Tesla, by the way. This isn't even NASDAQ. This is just going over my strategy for Tesla on July 10th. And believe it or not, the same thing would happen on NASDAQ. So, final 10 minutes of the day, the 15 is now into the red. 1 hour's crossed over into the red, is crossing over. Now we just want that 5 minute to start falling with us. And it does right there, but we don't get a nice realignment opportunity before the market ends. So, could you have entered right here at the penetration of the yellow EMA with a red fat selling candle? Could you have entered here and captured this? Yes, you could have. And yes, I would have understood why you did it. But I wouldn't have done it because the 5 minute wasn't even in the red yet. So there were no more trades for the rest of the day. And just to show you how serious I am that the same thing happened in NQ, NASDAQ, we're going to go over how this strategy performed in the NASDAQ for this day. And we're just going to run right through it. We're just going to go find the first alignment that occurs. Market opens with the 1 hour in the red. So we don't even take trades until everything's aligned, right? 15's in the green. So we don't even take trades until it's all aligned. When does it start to align? Now. The 1 hour is now flipping into the green. The 15 still in the green. And the 5 minute is about to start building back to the upside. And as soon as that building stalling back to the upside starts to happen, that's how you know we're about to make some money. And it starts to occur right here. Look. See how the 5 minute is curling back around now? The momentum of the 5. So that's how you know everything is aligned. Now we have the green light to look for trades, to look for realignments. Where do you see a realignment occurring? Do you see any realignment after this point? Selling off, realignment. 11:01. So the entry for the first entry today in NASDAQ on July 10th, NQ futures, or just NASDAQ in general, QQQ. That first entry happened here. And that would have been a 1-to-1 win. Only one trade so far. Would have been a 1-to-1.5 win. Would have been a 1-to-2 win. Would have been a 1-to-2.5. It would have been a 1-to-4 point. It never came back. This is one of those trades where if you have your runners and you allow some runners to run, then you would have captured this massive trade right here. But just targeting a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-1.5 or 1-to-2, this would have been a win right there at 11:01. That was the first entry for the day. Did we get another opportunity right here? This is an embedded entry because this entry is still playing out. This hasn't won yet. So this is an embedded entry. Technically, we skipped those. But this also would have been a win, and it's also a realignment right there on the MACD. You can see it realigning. Do we have any more for the rest of the day? Now the 5 minute is completely selling off. We're not taking any trades now. We're waiting for the 5 minute to be expanding or holding in our direction. Now it is expanding in our direction. And we get a nice little realignment right here. Keep in mind this is on a 1 minute chart right now. Now this realignment certainly would have achieved a 1-to-1. But just barely. That's another good win. Look at a 2 minute chart because we are later in the day now. We look at 2 minute charts when we're later in the day normally. And after that win right there, which would have been a loss on a 2 minute chart, would have been a win on a 1 minute chart. Keep that in mind. And it wasn't even near the value lines. We want it to be near the value lines like this candle right here. Look at this fat buying candle bouncing right off of the 84 EMA line. That is the kind of entry we're talking about. But the 5 minute was telling you not to take the trade. So we would have skipped it. So the next time that happens is here. Same thing. Bounce off of the 84 EMA, but the 5 minute is telling you not to take the trade. So all in all, there weren't many setups for this day. There was only that one main setup, which happened when everything was going the same direction earlier in the day, which happened right here. The realignment occurs here. That would have been a win. That's the realignment. That's a win. Would have been a grand win, by the way, because it would have kept running and running and running and never come back. But I want you to pay attention to how this is nowhere near the 84 EMA. It's nowhere near the 42 EMA. It's overvalued. It's overextended. This is risky. The better setup is taking a candle that bounces off of these 84 and 42 EMA complexes. And that's this candle right here. This candle, straight up, is starting to see a change in momentum on the 5. 5 momentum selling off is slowing down and starting to show signs of reversing course. We're on the right side of the momentum on the execution time frame. And what do you see? A nice buying candle bouncing off of these 84 EMAs, 42 EMA, these blue and yellows. Now that would have been a good trade. And you can see how it would have given you nice runway for a literal trend, a trend line follow. Like, I'm going to hold until it breaks this trend line here, or I'm going to hold until we get a confirmation below the 42 EMA line, something like that. So in NASDAQ, there was only one quality setup that whole day, and it was at 10.54. Wonderful trade, wonderful win. The official entry was here at 11.16. Both of them would have yielded you wins. I hope you have a good day. Take care now.